Jill, I'm so excited to speak to you today. Thank you so much for taking the time to meet with me. How are you?
I am good. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, excuse my cough drop. I'm I'm trying not to cough all over you, even though we're virtual. But the purpose of today's call is to be a part of the story that I'm trying to tell about women just like you that are building successful and thriving coaching businesses following what God has called them to do. Our mission is to inspire and encourage others to follow their call and follow their passion. And I love your story and I just want to share it with the world. So why don't we start off by you just introducing yourself, telling everyone a little bit about what you do, and we'll take it from there.
Okay. I am a business performance strategist and mindset coach. Basically, I come into the coaching world in 2017. Um, I have a background of working with people and basically being in business for quite a few years. So I really like the idea of coming in and being able to serve people on a different level.
Mm-hmm.
And so to come into the coaching world has been a dream come true, literally, for me. I really wanted to do this 10 years ago. And so now I've got a thriving business. I love it. And basically, I haven't been in business real long, only a couple months. I actually launched my business January 1st. And so a couple just testimonials in January, I brought in 14 clients. And since February 1st, I've brought in 7. And so the amazing thing about that is, of course, at this point in my business, I don't have all of my tech pieces in place. So I've kind of defied the odds in that way.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, I have, thanks to you, I have my bag of tech stuff, right? Because you've supplied everything I need to really set my business up to be automated and to get myself out there virtually in a really powerful way. But because of my background, I wasn't very tech savvy. I put that part off and just kind of launched into my business and have brought a lot of people into my business in the last probably 45 days or so. I'm pretty excited about that. And what it's done for me is kind of just built my confidence to go on. So basically, I help women become more confident in presenting themselves in their businesses and begin to profit quickly, just as I have, and just show them what I've done so far that has worked for me, and just help them, really at a really foundational level, become profitable quickly while they are also building their tech portion of their businesses and getting themselves out there more publicly. So that's just a little bit about where I'm at right now.
And it just blows my mind because I remember back to our first discovery call, which we had several,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because you were so afraid that, can you really do this? Can, you really succeed as a coach? Do you have a message? Do you remember that? Can I really coach? Because you did not do coach training.
Right.
You just had a desire to coach. And when she says she has a few years of business experience, let's define those few years.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well, that would tell my age, and I was trying not to do that. So I probably have, I think it's close to, it's over 25 years. Let's just put it like that. Won't
Yeah.
get too technical on that. But
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of years of business.
I just wanted to quantify. When you say a few years in business, you don't mean 5.
Right.
You know what you're talking about when it comes to performing at an optimal level and building a business. You've built several, and you've been very successful at that. And tell me why you decided to just jump into my coaching program without doing coach training, and how that worked out for you. Because I get asked that a lot. Do I need coach training first? Which I'm a fan of coach training. If that's what you want to do, go for it. I've had coach training after I started my business. Actually, I did it just to enhance my coaching skills because I'm actually a trained consultant and marketer over a coach. So I just did it just to grow my skill base. But it's definitely not required. So tell us a little bit about that part of your journey.
Okay, so I am, I kind of have this mentality that Rome can be built in a day. And so I'm always fighting that. Do I want to go into this long process of just being educated? Education is really important. But I was at a place in my life where I needed to see my own progress, because progress to me is growth. So I had some personal development things that I was going through in my life. Getting certified is really important to me. And so that is on my to-do list. But I wanted to see more progress. I wanted to get my business up and going quickly. I wanted to, and I actually was weighing it out. Do I get certified first, or do I start my business first? And I decided I would start my business first, begin to make money, pay for my certification with my business, and do both. So before I met you, I considered it interviewing coaches. They didn't know that. But people would say, opt in for this, or sign up for my free discovery call.
Or webinar or whatever.
Yeah. And so I hours of webinars. And I was watching everybody's style. What were they saying? Who could I really align with in my convictions, as well as in my desires for what I wanted for my own personal business? And so, like I said, many people to admire out there. Some people were 7-figure income earners. Some people were 6-figure. And of course, the dollar signs means something to me. I want to have a profitable business, and I wanted to follow somebody that I felt was professional as well as productive, somebody that I really felt like I aligned with. So when I came down to you, I actually had 2 different coaches that I was kind of going back and forth with, and just weighing out, like, what's the most important to me. And we all, as Christians, we all take that time to pray, right? So I took the time to pray about it, and decided that I would go with you because you lined up more with my personal convictions. I felt like your program offered everything that I needed, except I'd never coached. And so I needed the baby steps. And I wasn't sure that you offered the baby steps for me. And so I was a little apprehensive about that. And I made a decision. First thing, you have to make a decision, right? Yep. So I made the decision to come into the business, and I chose you. And you told me, you'll learn as you go. And I still was very apprehensive about that. But once I came in, that's what happened, and the atmosphere that you provided was an atmosphere of growth for even new coaches, or people, aspiring coaches or new coaches. And so I found that, I really do believe that it was the right program for me. I do believe that it's the right program for other people who are serious about building a business, because you're serious. What you offer is like real skill set. So if you're serious about wanting to make money and serious about wanting to build a successful business, you have everything, in your program that can take somebody from point A to point Z. Mm-hmm. And so that's basically why I chose your program over all the rest.
Mm-hmm. And I did a little surprise for you. So I told Jill that I will make sure that she masters her coaching skills. Mm-hmm. So after a few months of working together and helping her develop her message and develop her business and really hone in on what she's good at, what did I do?
Well, actually, you just asked me, will you coach my group? So I was very surprised by that question, because I was pretty quiet in the group to that point, and I just sat back and listened and gleaned a lot. And so I was surprised that you asked me, and a little bit unsure that you knew what you were asking me for. But it really was the perfect thing for me. So not just, okay, so when I look at your business, I think Angelica provides, if you're going to build a house, and you got to have, a really good blueprint for your house, mm-hmm. You provide the blueprint for a business, but you also provide the tool bag like everything you need is inside of the tool bag to build this beautiful home. And so you just have to take everything out of the tool bag and implement. So it's very black and white and very simple steps to follow. Just follow the steps and you'll have, you know, and implement. Implement is so important. Follow the steps, implement, and you will have a successful business. But with me, you know, I sense that you went beyond just the black and white of the structure of how to build a business and into the intuitive part of what it took to really grow me as a coach. And what I needed was a push out there, because I was sitting in the background, but that's not really me. And I was not sharing, and that's not really me. But I didn't know how to break through that barrier of really my own, I don't know, somehow I felt like there was something standing between me and where I wanted to go. And so when you asked me to coach, and I just said, God, I believe you open doors and I'm going to do this. So I stepped out, and it was almost like boom, right? I just stepped into where I needed to be. And since then, you know, I coached your group for a few months. And in the process of that, I remember right away, especially to get feedback from the ladies that were so far above me, I felt like, and so far ahead of me. And I had so much respect for them to give me feedback and say, wow, Jill, you've really helped me. And suddenly I could see I have something to give and something that I can help other people with. And so basically it released me from a lot of fear and a lot of the what ifs. And I don't know, you know, if I'm going to be good at this. And so by the time, that was just a couple months before I actually opened my business doors. And so when I opened my business doors, within just a couple days, I made my first sale. And like I said, in January, I brought in 14. That was January 1st. And by the end of January, I brought in 14 clients. That's a lot.
That is a lot.
And we're only in the middle of, actually, we just closed out February. So in February, I brought in 7. So what is that? That's like 21 clients in, you know, 60 days. And
amazing, Jill.
So I do thank you, Angelica. Your program it's a powerful program. You have to be a big girl to take it. Right?
That's right.
And so you challenge us to be big girls. You challenge us to be big business owners.
Yep.
And to really be that CEO. You really do challenge people, not in a way like, you know, it's too much, but come on, you can do this. This is what you need to do. And this is how you do it. And when you do this, this is what's going to happen. And so you've been there, you know, for.
And just to clarify, I don't have my clients normally coach my clients.
Right.
It's just something I knew that you needed. And I knew when it was time. From our discovery call, I knew I was going to have you do that. You didn't know that.
Right.
But I said, I know what I'm going to do for Jill. And as you were building you solidified all of the foundation pieces. I was like, okay, she's ready. She's ready. And I knew you needed that push because you were like a little mouse. Right. And I was like, she just needs to believe that she can coach. Right. And I knew you had the skills, right? Because you've coached in all of your past businesses.
Sure.
Right. And with what you do for performance, I mean, you've done it. So you just needed that confidence boost and that mindset shift of actually doing it while calling yourself a coach in order to build that confidence. And as soon as you did that, your life transformed. I saw it happen. Like a week after you started the coaching, all of a sudden I saw you posting on Facebook, doing lives. You were on fire.
I was invisible before.
Yeah, absolutely invisible. So that's a good lesson to you all that are watching. If you're building a business and you're setting up your foundations and you know your message and you know what your program is going to do, but if you're not telling people about it, if you're not excited about it and sharing with the world, you're not going to get clients. And Jill is not even done with my program yet because she has not set up any marketing funnels yet.
Never
at
done
all.
that. No.
You know, she only implemented the foundational pieces. She implemented the organic marketing that I've taught her. But as far as ads or automation or marketing funnels or opt-ins, or how about even a website, y'all, she hasn't done any of that tech part
I
of
don't have any of
business
that.
yet. And I want to highlight that because A, you don't need a website to get 21 clients in 60 days.
Mm-hmm.
Jill is a perfect example of that. You don't need fancy marketing funnels. You don't need Facebook ads. Yes, if she wants to scale and continue growing without all of the hustle and by the way, let's define hustle. How many days a week do you work on your business? Two.
Yes.
Two.
Two.
So this is just proof that if you have focus and clarity, you can create these types of results for yourself. Because Jill, you're amazing, but you're not a unicorn, right? I mean, you're just another woman just like me that wants to impact the world,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So I just love your story so much. So we went over how you were so afraid to start your business in the beginning. You were scared to call yourself a coach. You were intimidated about your skill set and your ability to really transform lives. So let's talk a little bit about how you transform lives. What's some of the feedback that you've had? Because as a business coach, I'm not just here to take your money and run with it, right? I get excited about the transformations that my clients create in their clients' lives, because that's an after effect of my influence on your life, is the fact that I'm influencing all of these other lives, right? They're fractals of each other. So tell us a little bit about the transformation you help people get.
Okay, so I tend to see the same kind of a pattern in my clients' businesses as my own. And part of that is just like helping them with real strategy to put programs, and they don't have to be like these huge, signature programs, but they can be really small programs that are going to start to make, money right away. And so I tend to see that kind of impact in their lives where they're overcoming fear right away. And so we target fear in a way, not by saying, okay, don't be afraid, but more like do this and fear is going to leave, right? And so one of my clients in particular, she was in business for 1.5 years. In the beginning of that time, she did have one client, but then for 1.5 years after that, she didn't have any clients whatsoever. So she didn't make one single sale. And so when she came and talked with me, we had one conversation. And in that conversation, one point came out. She implemented and made one change in her business. And since then, I know for a fact that she's had 3 clients. And this has, of course, been since January 1st. So that's 2 months. But that happened within her first month of working with me. So that is just one person that has seen major change, a major result, and, increased income. So to me, to see results in my client's life, that is my own reward. That's me winning if I see them win. Right. Yep. And so, of course, with that many people, I'm seeing lots of results, and some of them are people that just don't want to leave because they're getting over the fear factors. They're really building confidence. They are gaining tools that they can implement right away and see results. So one of the things that I do is just like get people from, if you have something that you want to do it. And so we do that super fast. Like we don't wait for fear to set in. We don't wait, for the insecurities to take hold. We implement fast. And so I just help them through implementation and through real strategy of what can we build here? What are your skill sets? And, how can you become profitable quickly? It's not get rich quick, but it is taking what you have and implementing quick and seeing results quickly. So
right. There's no such thing as a get rich quick scheme. Right. I think if I had a banner in the coaching business, it would be, this is not a get rich quick scheme type of thing. And speaking about fear and anxiety, that's something that comes up a lot as business owners, right? Like, will I succeed? Will I get clients? Okay, I've got clients. Can I get more clients? Will the success repeat itself? Will I be able to sustain this? Can I even get that traction? I don't have an audience. Will people like me? She's so amazing. Can I be that amazing? Like all of these things, right, pop up as we build businesses. And my piece of advice for anxiety is to list out what is causing you anxiety. And let me tell you, I'm speaking from experience because I struggle with anxiety all of the time. Like, I get anxious about things. I'm very ambitious, you know, and usually if you're an entrepreneur, you're pretty ambitious. So you have goals, you have dreams, and the idea of not accomplishing them is a cause for anxiety. There's nothing wrong with you. It's good that you're having some anxious feelings about it because you care, right?
Right.
So my advice to anyone that's watching this and is struggling with that, make a list of what is triggering that anxiety. Make a list of it, and then reverse engineer the steps to get there. And then make a list of those steps, put them in order, and then start ticking them off one by one, and your anxiety will go away. That's the way I keep myself in check. That's the way I tell my clients to keep themselves in check. As soon as, oh, am I going to get clients? Am I going to get clients? Are you marketing yourself? No. well, if no one knows about you, you're not going to get clients. So you have a good reason to be anxious, right? So let's address that. Let's take the steps, because whether you have an ads budget or you're going to do it organically, both methods work, but they have to be done. Saying you're going to do it, talking about it, even making a list doesn't get it done, which is what I think is really the value in the coaching, right? It's holding you accountable, pushing you out of your comfort zone, and encouraging you to do what you say you're going to do, right?
Right.
So, what would you say to someone that is either pivoting in their business, they've been in business, you know, for maybe a year or 2, 3 years and they're struggling, or if they're brand new, what would be your advice to them?
I guess my advice would start out with evaluation, to really evaluate your heart. You know, what are you doing? Why are you doing it? And who are you serving? Because I think it comes down to that. If you really want it, you can have it.
That's right.
You know, I really believe that we can possess our dreams, but it takes a commitment. It takes really knowing why you want it. It really takes the commitment to your own self, that it's worth the fight, and that it's worth the effort. It's worth sticking through the downtimes.
Right.
So that would be the very first thing that I would say is where you at and how bad do you want this? I mean, is this really important to you? When I started the coaching business, for me, it was a life and death situation. You know, I felt that strongly that I needed to do this for personal reasons. You know, I just felt like I had put the dream off for 10 years and I was done putting off my dream.
That's right.
And I'm still in that place. Months later, I still feel that same conviction. And I know I've taken the word quit out of my vocabulary. I know I'm not going to quit. I'm in this for the long haul. And so you have to know that. You have to know that quit isn't in your option list, right? You have to know that you really want this. And then you just have to be committed. So.
That's right. That's amazing. Yes. Yes. Because it doesn't happen overnight.
Right. Yes.
Regardless of how quickly it might happen for you, or not how quickly it's going to happen for you, I can guarantee you it's definitely not overnight. So as we wrap up here, so let's say it's December 25th, 26th, right? You don't know January's coming where you're going to get 14 clients, right? And then 7 more in February. What was that catalyst that took you from no clients to 14 in 30 days? And then 21 in 60 days. What was that? What was that shift? What switch was flicked, so to speak, to get you there?
Okay, so let me just start from like December 25th, right? And okay. I know I'm going to be doing this. I know that I don't have an option. Eventually, got to get out of the boat and walk on the water, right?
That's right.
So I have implemented 2 programs so far, and I'm about to implement my 3rd one. Okay, I've already had so much success, 21 clients in, 60 days, right around there. So something interesting happens before you implement your programs, right? It doesn't matter how many you've done. It doesn't matter how many people have joined. This fear hits you like, oh my God, what if nobody joins, right?
Right.
Maybe it's going to be a dud. Maybe it's only my dream. Nobody else is going to catch the vision. So I have this anxiety like, uh-oh, I'm going to do this, but I might be rejected. It might not be accepted. So the first thing was just like, if you want to do it, just do it. You know what I mean? I kind of like that Nike sign, just do it.
Right.
And so when I implement quickly. So I don't make anything perfect. I just implement. So January 1st, I implement, and by implement, what I mean is I throw it out there in the public, right? And I said, this is what I'm doing. If you want to join me, come and join. And like, boom, everybody starts joining, boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, thank you, Jesus, right? And I just started doing the happy dance. Same thing happened with my second program. I'm just like, okay, so I'm just going to launch this. This is my idea. Within 24 hours, I launch it. And I start getting like, sounds good, sounds good, sounds good. And so then I start designing it, right? So I implement really quickly. I don't let the fear thing, because I have known fear pretty closely. And so I don't let that have a place in my life. So I implement quickly, and I begin to, that's just the way I do it. So yeah, December 25th was a time of high anxiety for me, because I just didn't know what was going to happen. But I find that happens before I implement any program. And, it's just something you got to push through and do it, and just watch it come together.
So there's a few things that you just dropped that are golden nuggets that I want to highlight for people watching. One is done is better than perfect every time. Absolutely.
Yes.
Because done is better than perfect. It's done, right? And then you could always refine later.
Yes.
The next thing is that you started before everything was finished, right? You started before you were ready, before the program was 100% done. You just had the vision, you knew the outcome, right? And then you just told people about it.
Yes.
The other thing that you said that was awesome is that you don't waste time implementing. You don't drag your feet. You don't get stuck in analysis paralysis. You get the idea. It's a good idea. You run with it.
Right.
And that, you guys, is the key to success. Like, bam. I mean, really, that's it. There is no magic pill. It's showing up, doing the work, not dragging your feet, and then you get amazing results, which is awesome. And the last question I have is around technology fear, because I hear that all the time, and how you do not need a advertising budget or a ton of money, to really succeed. And you haven't even started ads yet. So you're like the best person to speak to organic marketing and the different strategies that I've taught you, and how that has helped you get 21 clients in 60 days.
Okay, so what was your question exactly?
Okay, yeah, I kind of like mumbled it all together. Talk a little bit about technology fear, because that plays really closely with like marketing automation and Facebook ads, and how you didn't let that stop you from getting 21 clients in 60 days.
Okay, so the way that I look at technology, as far as like the marketing, getting all of your sequencing in order, those can be real roadblocks for people that, wasn't born in the, early 2000, era. So the way that I look at that is it's something that grows as you go. And so you can always learn to implement as you're serving. So what I really focus on serving. If you have a need, let me help you. If you need, something in your business and I can help you, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm not going to get stuck in the tech. And I believe in it. I believe if you want to have a really successful business, you're going to need it. As far as like if you want to make 6 figures or 7 figures, you're going to need to get the tech stuff down, right? Or really hire somebody to do it for you, which I have helped in that area as well. I have hired somebody because, for one thing, tech slows me down. I like fast, and I like to make progress fast. So I don't like the stuff that slows me down. But for people who are struggling in that area, I would just say, implement and serve while you're building your tech area.
Mm-hmm.
And that way you're not sitting idle, because idleness brings fear, and idleness will cause you to draw back, and it'll stunt your growth. It'll stunt the growth of your
That's
business.
right.
And so that's what I would say. Just begin serving people, because that's really what coaching is about. Coaching isn't about having a beautiful website,
Right.
right? It's about serving people. And so just start serving people, and then let the tech pieces come in place as you need them. Implement, hire help, whatever you need to do, but just, just serve and let your business grow while you're doing that.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like keeping your business priorities straight, right?
Right.
Serve
That's right.
first. So,
Yep. That's right. There's things that get you stuck, and there's things that move you forward. And knowing, what needs to be worked on, what needs to be outsourced. Because let's face it, sometimes you work 2 days a week, right? So you're not going to have time to sit there and figure out certain things that require a few hours.
right.
So the smart decision as a business owner is to outsource it out, right? Or you're just going to have to find the time. So I think that's really insightful, because you do not have to fear technology. You don't even need a ton of technology to be successful. You do need it to grow and scale, but that can always come later after you're making money and you have the money to invest in those types of services. So, Jill, you are such an inspiration. Thank you so much for sharing your story with the world.
Well,
I'm sure it's going to be very relatable to many, many people.
yes.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate everything that you have provided for me too. And, just walking alongside of me in my journey. I am glad that I chose your program over all the rest.
Thanks,
And
Jill.
so,
Thanks,
I
Jill.
do recommend to people, like I said, who are serious about building
Mm-hmm.
a successful online business.
Mm-hmm.
Angelica
Mm-hmm.
is the girl.
Thank you so much, Jill.
Yes.
And have a great rest of your day. And thank you so much for sharing your story with the world.
Yes, it's been fun. Thanks, Angelica.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.